Hello and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. So we are exploring Cliff's Edge, partly looking for the slave girl named Rin, I believe. Yep, Rin. And yeah, let's just keep it going. General, this is the surgeon, I believe. This is where the guy had his surgery, cosmetic surgery. This old man's skin is covered in makeup, painstakingly drawn to resemble dark stone. His eyes widen briefly as he notices you, and his face and neck hardens into actual obsidian for a moment. Then he smiles and nods at you, his features mobile once more. "Welcome, welcome," he says. "Sorry about the stone. Polymorphic flesh modification, you see. I didn't see you walk up, and I assumed you were going to cut my throat and take my chirurgical parlor for yourself. Why would you think such a thing? I do good business here," the old man shrugs. "If I were a younger man, looking to make a name for myself in the city, I'll kill me too." Right. My chirurgical parlor is a marvel of the prior world. You see, just pick an item or a service, pay my outrageous fees, and after only a short to long period of fairly safe but indescribable agony, you walk away with some horrible Numenera bits whirring away inside you. He pokes a few buttons on a device strapped to his wrist, and lights twinkle across its length. Dark glassy lens focus on you. "Well, interested?" I can't help but noticing that you are a very honest man." "Well spotted," he says, nodding. Clear streaks of quartz run up his prominent cheekbones, revealing the muscle beneath them. "It's a side effect of my modification. Can't lie to you if you beg me to." Shrugs. "Honesty is usually a hindrance to a businessman, but people seem to like it. It's a blessing, in my opinion." That's what he thinks. "How did you come to own this parlor?" "It was original partnership. My colleagues and I spent 2 years digging it out and getting the whole mess working. Of course, we had to test the drones before we tried them on anyone else. Customers getting skinned alive on operating day is bad for business. Turns out, that was a wise move. Gorna chose an intelligence modification, and the drones cut off his head to work on it more directly. Meyer picked strength, and the drones sliced off her arms. They defaulted to sever in those days." He smiles fondly. "Anyway, 6 partners later, I was the sole proprietor. I worked out the kinks, and here we are, with no fatalities in months. No fatalities in months. The strongest survived, of course. It might not be me, but well, it was. Might not be me. Okay, fine, whatever. Remind me, no. Show me your list of items and services." "Of course," he says, tapping a few buttons on the board, the device encircling his wrist. The lens beams a cone of light directly onto your eye, which immediately begins watering. Blinking, you see menu of items seemingly hanging in the air. Clawed gauntlets, jagged memory, encroaching darkness. What are blood nanites? The Numenera analyzer sounds safest? An artificial eyeball? Really? How painful are these procedures? Can I buy a full body modification like the one you offered Pico? No. You're too old, far too old. Practically ancient compared with that poor lumpy boy. Those particular augmentations prefer young flesh, but there's plenty of other enchantments here on sale. Which one interests you? Like jagged memory? "Ah, this," he says with a raised finger, "is a tricky one. It's a mesh that fuses through your skin, leaving jagged marks, like tattoos. When you attack, you always hit your enemy's old wounds, even if they weren't there before. Told you it was a tricky one. He beams proudly. 110 shins. No, thank you. Your loss. Interested in anything else? Blood nanites? Oh, nano. It's quite simple. The drones fill your blood with millions of tiny machines that promptly begin devouring you alive until they learn to differentiate between your body and anything that's not supposed to be in there. After that, they'll do their level best to purge toxins and illnesses from your body with every pump of your heart. In case it wasn't clear, this one is really going to hurt. 95 shins. Paid in advance, please. No, thank you. Wow. The Numenera analyzer? Well, we can't afford any one of these. That's quite safe. He says, nodding. Most of the time, in almost 3 out of 5 cases, the procedure couldn't be simpler. The drones simply saw your skull open, shove an implant into the right spot, and seal everything back up again. He clasps his hand. Once they do that, the implant will help you identify the purpose of unknown Numenera. It costs 95 shins, but it pays for itself. Oh, these are crazy. Oh my. Clawed gauntlets. We don't have the money, so might as well just say farewell. Farewell. This is crazy. Anyway, let's talk to these. Aitashi, Barand, Gurumo. Oh, I should talk to Eritz as well.
Is there more danger? So be it.
Let's talk. Are you as crazy as you seem? You catch Eritz staring at the sky with a distant look in his eyes. His strangely pale skin is nearly bronze in the golden glow surrounding him.
I should climb a building. No, a tower. And jump off the top. Should it be on fire? Yes. Yes and yes.
And he's thinking, yes and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. The hero is losing focus. Who cares? Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what to make of you. Well, you're quite the daredevil. You're crazy, but, you know... Hey! Sounds fun. Where do we start? Are you actually thinking of setting a building on fire? No! He says, shocked. Not today, anyway. We have things to do. The distant look resurfaces along with a need so deep it approaches hunger. I'm just planning ahead. If things get... He grimaces as if the world is he's trying to say pains him. Temporarily safe? Well put. He says, delighted. I could have said it better myself. I knew you were meant to share my story. He stretches happily. He continues. But you aren't here to talk about me. He blinks. Oh, or are you? Oh, I have questions about you. I have some questions, so tell me. I'm not surprised. He says, pleased. I'm incredibly interesting. What do you want to know? I keep hearing voices in your head telling you what to do. A loud one and a quiet one. Will he appreciate that? The glow abruptly fades from Eritz. He looks older, plainer, exhausted beyond endurance. What? No one. No, come back. He will wake up. He fears us. We told you. Then the golden light returns, a savage explosion of radiance and heat driving you back a step. Eritz regards you calmly from within the pulsing nova. He is so beautiful that it's hard to look at him. I have no idea what you're talking about. A clever evasion. Now convince him he's not interested in this. So, this guy. So maybe this is just a regular guy and it's taken over by some kind of a entity or an AI or something. Let's talk about something else now. You're not interested in this. His voice is dull and dreamy, and his eyes wander about your face without seeing you. Then the glow recedes like a retreating wave, and Eratis blinks. He sees that you are looking his way, then looks behind him to see what you're staring at. What happened to you when I asked about the voices in your head? You never asked me about the voice in my head, Eratis says, rolling his eyes. I would have remembered a crazy question like that. Can you tell me anything about the voices I keep hearing in your head? If you're hearing voices, that sounds like your problem, not mine. He beams, but a hint of unease flickers across his face. Another clever evasion. We are not so sure. Can you tell me anything about the voices I keep hearing in your head? If you're hearing voices, that sounds like your problem, not mine. So that's not gonna work. I've never heard the name Eratis before. What does it mean? Names mean things? He says gaping. I thought they were just there to put words on faces. He frowns. It should mean fast or impossibly handsome, but I really have no idea. Do you know what your name means? He says, turning to your companions. No, good call. Travels with idiots, Algon says, folding his arms. Though in my case, it's less of a meaning and more of a curse. Names can be curses too? Eratis says, alarmed. I really need to find out where mine comes from, but tell me if you see any idiots. I'll help you drive them off. Oh, hold on! He says, ripping a much folded page from his doublet. This sounds like an exciting quest to set off on someday. He writes furiously, tongue peeking from between his teeth. Discover secret meaning of name. Done. He tucks the page back into his doublet, grinning. Where do you come from? I came out of the west. Eratis declares, his glow intensifying. Traveling day and night to escape the higher killers hunting my every step. That's not what I meant. Where did you come originally? From the storms of the south. At first, I think it was only an outline in the clouds of dust, but then Eratis leans forward, palms spread, eyes wide. I emerged, swords in every hand, cape swirling. You should have been there. I don't think you understand me. Where were you from? This companion may look like a fool on the outside, but I believe there's something going on with this guy. I'm very interested. That's a strange question, he says, his glow dimming. Babies aren't interesting. Then he brightens, literally, of course. You're asking when I realized I was a hero? Yes, that's what I'm asking. Ah! He frowns, cocking his head. I don't remember. Maybe I'm supposed to tell you I'm always been one. He looks up, nodding. I've always been a hero. What is that glow surrounding you? I don't see anything. Seriously, what is that glow surrounding you? What glow? Let's talk about something else. Wow. How are things between us? Great! He declares, throwing his hands in the air. I knew we had the same instincts for adventure. Okay. I want your opinion of the people we are traveling with. Oh, I like them, he says airily. They keep things from getting too quiet or thoughtful. They get in the way of mirrors, and I appreciate that. He blinks several times. Oh, you want more specific details? Who about? You mentioned that you don't like mirrors. Why is that? Ooh. I did, he says, blinking. What a strange thing to say. Who doesn't like mirrors? I certainly don't. Wait. He frowns. His golden hour fades until it almost isn't there. So we need to get him in front of a mirror. I like mirrors, he says finally. I have no problem with them. Let's talk about something else. So this is great. We need to get him in front of a mirror. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about companions. Let's do that. Alligator? Opinions? I love giving those. He's really smart, Eddie says, tickling his fingers. And interesting and funny too. Hesitates. I don't understand a lot what he says though. That might be because most insults go right over your head. Might be. What about Tibir? He's such a nice man, Eddie says, shaking his head. Before we met, I had too much money to spend. Now, I barely have any at all. Neither pockets make a happy lad, Tibir says, jingling a little. You're stealing from this idiot? He told me that that's one of his famous sayings. Eddie whispers, delighted. Tibir? I know, we might just need to... I don't know if this is the kind of party for Tibir.
Something to do.
I mean, like, I like you. I mean, like, I like this Contra thing, but I don't know. We just have to see. All right. Surprise briefly registers on the cultist's face when she sees you. Then she slightly inclines her head in respect. Greetings, beloved vessel. How may I help you? You seem less deferential than some of the other cultists. Why? Not all of us revere your father, he says carefully. We simply honor him for his boundless wisdom and bottomless knowledge. We wish to emulate him. She clears her throat. But worship? No. Why are you less deferential than other... Well, good day to you, that's it. Barant? Can we talk? Oh, I'm not much of a talker, but I like listening. Okay. Guromo?
All right.
Oh, okay, so we can't talk with these ones. Might as well just go down then. Maybe I should just get this way. Ah, it doesn't matter.
Of course.
Let's go this way. Aidan Sitabo. Whoa! Matt splits! Beggar? Can we talk with the beggar? Please, General Hart, look at me.
If I do.
Okay. Aidan Shitabo? Hey. What's up, Karate Kid? The large muscled man is practicing some form of martial art as you look on. He's wearing an old white rough woven coat with sleeves torn off, and a red bandana is wrapped tightly around his head. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests as possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers, striking at invisible enemies. His bare, calloused feet snap and slash at the air like knives. Have you seen a 10-year-old girl with dark curly hair?
Making a note.
Yes, he says, bowing his head. I've seen her, crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in the district. She's likely hiding, but I did not pry into her affairs. Where did you see the girl with dark... Okay, so it's in a crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in this district. He's likely hiding. Okay. She's crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in the district? Okay. I don't know. Is it the one on the bottom left? Where did you learn to fight like that? By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing bows. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. You're very fast. Yes, Aiden says. The Drabu's gift. His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow, then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over his shoulder to the ground. Jasantum Arai! He shouts, spinning over the invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring, smiles. You must be wondering why I'm shouting. Yep. I'm not surprised. I must look like a lunatic, he says, before sparing his opponent's jugular with 3 fingers. Country trust! It helps me focus my breathing, my strength and will. It reminds me of how weak I once was and how strong I have become. Years ago I was a starving beggar. I managed to steal a wedge of pie crust and was terrified that someone else would take it from me. So I hid inside the metal structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden queb, he says, blowing his enemy's eyes. The stale crust crumbled into pieces between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted toward the ground like the softest snowflakes. I was able to pluck each one of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then I wept. How far had I fallen that clean food was a miracle? He sighs and delivers 4 more blows to the air's belly. But the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in that shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore to never waste this gift. I would honor it by becoming stronger, faster. I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Rush stomp! I bet I'm faster than you. I'm not. I bet I'm faster than you. You're not the first to think so, he says, casually snapping a Assassin's neck. I should warn you that all the others are dead. That's not a threat. I only fight to the death. Wow! He flings the invisible cloak aside before I accept your challenge. I need to see if you're good enough to face me. His fist lashes toward you. Juralisk kiss! Slow punch first. Some challengers are braggarts, but they don't deserve death. I'm gonna flinch. I'm not gonna fight to the death. He pulls the punch and lets it fall. There's no shame in knowing your limitation, he says. Okay, farewell, crazy person who only fights to the death. That just means you're just gonna die one day, and that day is gonna be fairly soon. Okay, what is this? Ooh!
Of course.
Yes. What is this? This house was reduced to rubble when part of the cliff face collapsed. There is evidence that squatters have slept here recently. A ragged blanket, rotted fruit, peelings, and footprints in the dust itself. Something scratches deep within the rubble. It sounds like someone or something is in there. Hello? The rubble makes no response. Dig deeper into the rubble. You crawl partway inside, pushing aside boards and a thin slab of slate. A small girl gasps, throwing up a hand to block the sudden light. She's young, no more than 10 or 11 years old. She has made herself as small as possible to fit inside the tiny gap in the rubble. Her hair is dark and curly. She pulls herself deeper into the rubble, away from you. Who are you? She puts a finger to her lips, then tries to shoo you away. You hear a voice behind you. I told you patience would pay off, lads. So the slaver is here. Some thugs stroll over. They all carry weapons at their sides, though they walk with the cocky assurance of those who don't expect to need them. I swear I checked this hovel, says one of them. She wasn't here. No one was. How did this draft find her so easily? He gestures dismissively in your direction. I'm Freddy Beggar. The thug looks you up and down, then calls out in the direction of the rubble. Come on, little bird. Doesn't matter how good you are at hiding. You had to come out sometime. He's coming out. The girl huddles behind you, keeping you between her and the thugs. Even so, it's obvious she's not sure about you either.
Don't let them take me, please!
Why don't you want to go with them? One of the men interrupts. She's lost, he says. The little urchin ran away from her home. Her mother asked us to find her and bring her back safely. Little girl, is that true? No! She grabs your fist. They are bad men. They want to steal me. Kidnappers? Ah, that's just crude. The man crosses his arms. We're delivery men, that's all. That means the motivation of our employers ain't none of our business. He sighs, dropping his facade. He turns to you with a look that pleads for understanding. We're alright. Yeah, there is a slaver who put up a fine bounty if we bring her back. It's all legal, and none of your business. Best you stay out of it. He says the words kindly enough, but his colleagues' hands are on their weapons. It's not like I want to work for slavers, but jobs are scarce as it is. So we know that he is reluctant in a way. Maybe we can pay him off. You can't take me. Her grip on your wrist tightens. He found me. He has the discoverer's right. Yeah, that's true. Oh, he raises an eyebrow. A bemused smirk playing on his face. Is that so? Well, Spiderjack, what do you say? Is she coming with us, or are we taking her from you? What was your bounty? Put up by Tol Magur. He asked me to find the girl. Oh, yes. Now, intimidation is probably not what we want. It doesn't matter if it's legal. Slavery is evil, and you're part of it. Our master has grown tired of waiting for you. I've been sent to collect the girl in your stead and tell you the bounty's off. I'm going with deception. And the good thing is that deception is not just there to screw people over. Oh, I'm pretty good at deception. Okay. Let's go with 100%. What? That double-crossing, backstabbing lacknibber? She promised! He waves an angry hand in the air. Fine, see if we work for her ever again. Come on, lads.
Oh gods, thank you. They were going to take me back to that woman. I've never met anyone so cruel. When she found me the first time she even... My apologies. I'm still out of sorts. You have my thanks and grace, sir.
I like you. Your voice. Can you be a follower? I would be great if you can have a child follower in the game. But probably not, because, like, you know, children can get hurt. You can never attack children in games, you know. Or you can attack them, but they don't get hurt, something like that. Anyway, continue. For a moment it looks like she might hug you, but at the last moment she seems to think better of it and pulls up short a half-dozen steps away. She collects herself, standing straight with her shoulders back, then she nods. The gesture is so polite it's almost formal. It would make sense to her to come with me, because the slaver will still want her back.
My name is Rin. My home and hearth and bread are yours to use.
Wow.
Except I don't have any of those things.
She blushes then, looking around self-consciously. Well, you just break my heart, girl. How long were you hiding in that building? She blinks a little, as if confused or surprised at your question. Then she looks around, shifting nervously from foot to foot. This is my place. This is where I sleep. This is your home? She looks at the shattered wreckage. No, this is where I was staying. I ran away. My home is a long way from here. Where are you from? She looks out the horizon and makes a vague gesture. Really far away, but I'm not sure exactly which direction. She looks around a little, almost as if she were seeking a familiar landmark. It has to be a long way from here. My home isn't anything like this. There were trees upon trees. The trees here aren't trees like The young girl squints off into the distance. After a moment, her eyes go distant, and you realize she probably isn't going to finish her sentence. You were saying something about trees. She looks at you oddly. What? No, I wasn't. Without seeming to realize what she's doing, the girl brushes her hand through her hair, and you see the sides of her head had been shaved. Large stitches run along her scalp, holding together an ugly cut longer than her hand. The wound is purple and angry looking, only just beginning to heal. It can be more than a week old. What happened to your head? Her body grows tense for a moment, her eyes darting around as if deciding whether or not to run away. She glances at the rubble where she had hidden from the thugs. She relaxes, though her eyes are still wary. I was running away. There were some people, bad people. I ran away and got hurt. Okay, but that you didn't just hit your head. That scar looks pretty bad. Are you okay? She makes a dismissive gesture toward her temple. It's fine. It looks a lot worse than it is, and a lot better than yours anyway. She smirks, touching the side of her head. The haircut is pretty awful, though, isn't it? I don't think they really needed to shave quite this much, do you? I don't know. I think it looks dashing, fashionable, even. You might start a trend. It does look pretty ugly. I'm gonna joke about it. If you don't wanna talk about it, it's fine. I'm having some trouble with my memory too. I know what it's like. No, I don't know. If I can joke about it, I do it. I don't know. I think it looks dashing, fashionable even. You might start a trend. He gives a wide grin. I'll be the envy of every homeless waif in this entire... He gestures grandly at the landscape, then hesitates. Barrow. Her grin fades as the word comes out of her mouth. Sorry, I meant Barrow. He pauses, then says, I know that's not the right word. I mean, Barrow? Don't worry about it. I know what you're talking about. Her grin is entirely gone now, and her hands make fists as she looks down at the ground, concentrating. Her lips move, and at the first you can't hear anything except for the hint of a whisper. Finally, her body relaxes. Yes, my neighborhood. That's the word I was looking for. Neighborhood. She looks up and gives you a shaky smile. For apologies. It's been a long day. I said don't worry about it. What people were you running away from? She opens her mouth, then closes it again. She nods and puts her hand back into her pocket absent-mindedly. I don't really remember. I think they were stealers. No. What's the word? Robbers? They wanted to rob me. Who stitched your head back together after you got hurt? That's a good question. Just for a moment her eyes flash with panic again, and they dart around like she's getting ready to run. Then she touches the side of her head gingerly. I don't remember what happened exactly. But I got away, and I ran, and I ended up here. Your story doesn't fit. Who fixed your wound and shaved your head if you could hardly sit up? And how did you keep running? She scowls at you fiercely. I didn't know I was talking to a judge. Sorry about that, she says angrily. I told you I can't remember, not for days on either side of whatever happened. He looks away, mouth pressed into a firm line. You're right. I mean, like, you know, you look like a good person. I just don't know if you're, like, you know, deceiving me. I'm sorry, Rin. I was just trying to help. Seems that you had a rough couple of days. He gives a wavering smile. Oh, it's not all bad. I found some shimmery berries today. So that means I get to play. I wonder if this will poison me later. I love you! You gotta come with us. Oh, I wonder if this will poison me later. That's always exciting. When you said that, I realized that you just gotta come with me. But it's so damn hard. I love everybody. Game, why can't I have 20 companions? I need that. Can you be a companion? Who were you running away from again? Is there anything I can do to help? He shrugs nonchalantly. I don't know, I'm pretty good here, unless you happen to have any spare food you aren't using, or water, or a blanket, or a new bed, or a house, you know? Anything at all? Rin starts out talking with a playful smile on her face, but then her eyes well up, her voice starts cheerful. Even as the tears are running down her cheeks, she wipes them away, embarrassed and angry, but her hands are shaking now, and there are more tears, and words continue to pour out of her. I offer apologies. It's just that I've been hungry for days. I don't know where I am. My head hurts and nothing makes sense. She laughs then, helplessly, with a tinge of trembling panic finally bleeding into her tone. Gods around me, I'm all broken in my head, the moon is wrong, and I'm so tired of being scared all the time. I'll take care of you, shit. Come with me. I don't know if... The thing is, I don't know, I mean, like, I can give her a few chances. I mean, like, I'm broke as heck. Gotta be said, you know, you can have like 10. You know, you can have 12. I just need enough for a night's rest, okay? You know, I don't know. I'll take care of you. Come with me. Can we do that? She blinks up at you and gives you a huge grin. Really? And she looks at your companions and seems to shrink away. No, I'm alright. I mean, but I'm alright. Is it because I have too many companions? Is it because I have too many companions? Alright, let's talk about something else. What's a little girl doing all alone here? The girl looks up at you, her forehead creasing a little in irritation. My name is Rin. But then she hesitates and looks down, blinking. She reaches into her pocket and absent-mindedly. Did I forget to tell him that? He stands there motionless for a second, then stops and looks at you again. No, I think I did. She looks up at you. I'm sorry. My name is Rin. My food and fire are yours to use before you go. Farewell, Ren. Can I just... Farewell, Ren.
I'll remember that.
Okay. I like you, Ren. Okay. You might just come with us, but not right now. Not right now. I gotta look into how to get rid of companions and this whole thingy. Between episodes. But... Okay. How about this? So, we can go upstairs. Pins in? Okay, this is the one guy we... definitely didn't speak to. Anything else we miss here? No. What about this? Oh, this is one of the shield generator that the genocide guy told me about. A silent and ancient machine casts a long shadow. As you study it, your breath shudders in your chest and your hands shake. You can't help feeling as though you have stood in this exact spot before. Anamnesis. Examine the device first. Your hands slip over the cobbled together components and greasy cables. The buttons worn by frequent use. It's a strange accomplishment. This machine, clumsy but deft, amateurish but masterful. Only a brilliant mind could have melded so many separate parts into a functional device. Unfamiliar memories whisper to you. this device was used, though you don't know how, to generate a field that unmoored everything within it from time itself. Okay, anamnesis. Try to remember why this machine feels so familiar. Okay, so it's intelligence based, remembering. And I can't really... I can bump it up to 85, and I have a bonus on it. So, level of effort. I have a point in anamnesis. Looks like only the last cast off can do it, so anamnesis is quite an important skill. Okay, we're just gonna put it up to 85 and hope that's gonna be good enough. You close your eyes to better concentrate, sinking into the currents of a memory that does not belong to you, or at least the body you are in, and you hear the thunderous heartbeat of the operational generator calling you from across centuries. You open cold, focused eyes, ignoring the screams, drifting tangles of black smoke. Your attention is slowly focused on the health of the machine's heartbeat. You reach into the hissing guts of the generator, adjusting and tuning it, hoping. The heartbeat fades into the past. Your hand, your body's hand rests on the rusty surface of the long-dead generator. Leave the generator alone. Okay, so suppose there's nothing here. Okay, pins him. Everything about this slender young man says tug. From his scar, slashed eyebrows to the calloused hand hovering over his hip, where a dagger would hang. But he doesn't have one. Instead, the flour cakes his hands, and a single apron string hangs from his pocket. He's apparently a baker. Stand still! You shine? He says, and peers over your shoulder. You follow his gaze to an armored soldier who is loitering in the public square. That levy's been following me for days! Can't even stop for a piss without checking the side to side? What's a levy? You sure he's following you? Put it like this, he says, licking his lips. I know where I'm being followed. I've seen him on my track from dawn to dark for 3 days. I ain't done anything wrong. And it's worse than that, he says, wringing his hand. This is my levy. What do you mean, he is your levy? I'm a citizen, he says, as if explains it. When it becomes clear it hasn't, he goes, every levy is made from a citizen. This one was made from me. Look, I can't explain why, but I know that's all mine. I feel it, right? And now it's coming for me. Look, he won't leave me alone, right? I gave a year of my life to make him, and I thought that was it. Now I catch him standing in the street outside the bakery, whispering to himself, playing with that carving of his. His teeth graze his lip as he leans closer. He even tried to talk to me. Levies ain't supposed to know who they came from, right? They ain't supposed to know who they are, who you are. He waves, gathering his courage. Could you talk to him? Find out what he wants? Can't you talk to him yourself? Alright. He swallows hard. I've heard stories. Levies go wrong sometimes. Get obsessed with the person who gave them life. If the two ever meet, the levy goes mad, tears them apart. That ain't going to happen to me. Not after... Cuts himself off. Not after all I've been through. Alright. I'll talk to your levy. He nods again toward the armored man who is standing in the distance away in the public square. He's only levy in the district, so you can't miss him. Plus he ain't smiling like all the others, and he's holding some charred wooden thing in his hands.
I'll remember that.
You need anything else? How did you create your levy? I don't understand why you think your levy wants to murder you. Look, He begins obviously struggling to frame his explanation. Look, he tries again. Look, you don't have to track a man for days and days unless you want something, yeah? Maybe you like his shoes, or you're curious about how many shins he got. Now, I don't have any shims, and my shoes are older than me. Only thing I got that's worth anything is my life. Anyway, I told you about the stories I've heard, and how sometimes levies go wrong. Shudders. You take a look at that levy. Everything about him is wrong. What is the normal behavior for a levy anyway? They are... He hesitates, raising his hands as if he's trying to contain his response before he lets it escape from his mouth. They work for the people who make the laws, right? And if someone breaks the laws, they track them down. Always smiling, mind you. Figures that my levy would be the unhappy kind. How did you create your levy? I look like a scholar to you. All I know is where they told me to stand. His eyes rove past your face and snap back. Look, people who want to be, you know, respectable in this town, they become citizens. They want you. You do that is. The way you do that is you step into this glass chamber. Takes a year out of your life, they say. I figure it squeezes that year into human shape. Don't know how. Wouldn't pay 2 shins to know. Okay, that's it. Where's this levy you're talking about? Where we saw it? I don't know where it is. Levy, where are you? Oh, tormented levy. Loss of self, too.
Of course.
Anyway, let's go over here. But before we do that, I believe this is a good time to take a break. So, hope you guys had fun. Tell me if you did, and see you around, guys. And have a good one.